Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to Midnight Raceway Park. I'm Steve, and today we're going to talk about this week's time trials. The cars for this week's tournament are fantasy cars that I picked out of my stable of cars that I thought somewhat represented or could have passed off as street models. So just to give it some kind of a theme, that's why I decided to use the particular cars that I picked. Since the last tournament, I did do some work on my track. I cleaned it up a little bit. I secured it in some areas where it wasn't quite as secure. I moved it, which was probably the most difficult part, just to give myself more space all around the track itself. One of the things that I added at the finish line is it's just a little platform for them to, for the cars, because there's that jump at the very end. So the cars are jumping into this platform now that has a checkered pattern to it. It looks good, but it also, with the carpet that I had earlier, the carpet was making it more difficult for cars to stick landings. What I've learned now is that with this new platform, the cars are much more easily sticking the landing. So I'm going to have to think about that if I really want it the way it's set up for this week, or if I'm going to change that again. But I think most everything else has stayed the same. I also noticed several new subscribers and individuals who are participating in this week's event. Thank you for subscribing, but what I'm really enjoying is checking out everybody else's pages. I love to see what other people are doing with their tracks, whether it's a drag strip or a road course. So I've been enjoying that as well too. So for this week's race, I'm expecting it to be competitive. The cars, I've tested them all individually on the track, and they're all low to the ground, so they should be able to handle the curves relatively well. They all have decent speed, nothing to write home about, but certainly, you know, they're decent speeds. And I'm expecting not a whole lot of DNFs this week, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to let the time trials video for today play out, and again, this is just going to be used for starting creating the starting grids, the 4 groups of 4 cars that are going to be competing in the tournament. So at the end of the video, I will show you the 4 groups and the starting grids for those groups. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to let you watch the video, and I'll catch you in the next video. And until then, please take care of yourselves.
Fire Yeah.